And we will begin. So, again, my name is Laura Chowning with Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky, and we are so excited to start the conversation about April Child Abuse Prevention Month. We are always, honestly, year-round thinking about pinwheels and April and awareness and child abuse prevention, specifically Child Abuse Prevention Month, and ways to engage our communities. Okay, making sure my slides work. The first thing I wanted to remind everyone of is who we are. Who is Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky? So we are a statewide organization focused on the prevention of child abuse and neglect of Kentucky's children specifically, and we do that through advocacy, education, awareness, and training. And our vision is to build a better Kentucky by shaping our future leaders and their families to ensure Kentucky's children grow up in a safe, healthy environment. The objectives of today's webinar include an overview of Child Abuse Prevention Month resources, notification that our national office is going to stick closely to the Pinwheels for Prevention trademark this year. So there's some things that we want to remind you of as you utilize the Pinwheels for Prevention, or the Pinwheels, excuse me, as well as that icon. We want to talk about reframed messaging and positive messaging as we go through awareness and getting information out to folks around child abuse prevention. We want to provide you some information about social media and media engagement and give you a preview of what's to come as resources are going out to folks. We're going to let you know about opportunities for trainings and speakers from Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky. We'll share with you some events that are already being planned, as well as how you can get your event on our calendar. And then we will ask you for your input. What do you need from Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky? And again, since we do not have phone lines set up today, if you will just put your questions or your comments in that chat box, we will respond to those from there. And so during April, the goal is to bring awareness to child abuse and neglect. But not only bring awareness, we want to increase the community's capacity to strengthen families, to educate children on their right to be safe, and to also expand policymakers' understanding of child abuse and neglect. And really that goal is to bring solutions to the prevention of child abuse and neglect, bring solutions to how we can keep kids safe. And so how will you participate in the efforts to strengthen families, thereby preventing child abuse and creating healthier communities? So we have a plethora of resources for our community partners. Most of these are located on our website. We also have that technical assistance piece where our staff can assist you in processing and thinking through how you can be involved in April activities. And so some of our resources, we will have tip sheets and a full resource guide that will help walk you through April planning. And that should hopefully be available within the coming months. Maybe the end of February. So we'll make sure that all partners are aware of when that is released and live for folks. We also have the Information and Data Center on our website, and this is a year-round resource for partners and all community members across the state. And this houses our brochures, our tip sheets, our merchandise. We also include free digital downloads and educational videos that may be of use for your organization and others. So our brochures, again, educational brochures, and they can be downloaded and or ordered from our website. And then the big thing is the pinwheel. The blue and silver pinwheel is the national symbol for child abuse prevention, and they are available for purchase on our website. And the goal is to, in April, blanket the state with the blue and silver pinwheel. And so our website also has a virtual pinwheel garden to show where pinwheels have been purchased across the Commonwealth. You can also donate to our cause of preventing child abuse and neglect by purchasing one of those virtual pinwheels. But to order pinwheels, you'll go to our website, to our information and data center, and then there will be merchandise. And then under merchandise, you'll see that blue and silver pinwheel. And again, it's probably 2008 when the national symbol moved from the blue ribbon to the blue and silver pinwheel, which we utilize today. We also will have available pinwheel lapel pins. And so these are small blue and silver lapel pins in the shape of a pinwheel, and they're great to distribute to elected officials, your friends, your colleagues, other folks in your community. We see those lapel pins actually throughout the year, not just during April, Child Abuse Prevention Month. Some of the other promotional materials and items that we will have available, we have a brand new yard sign this year. They no longer have the commit to prevent phrase. There's a new phrase that we've included on those. We have Wear Blue Day stickers. So you'll be learning more information about Wear Blue Day here in a few moments, but Wear Blue Day will be on April 3rd. That's a Friday. And we know that a lot of times that interferes with some of the spring breaks. And so we encourage folks to determine what day they want to be involved in Wear Blue Day, but hoping for more on that April 3rd date. We, again, will have temporary pinwheel tattoos available, t-shirts, magnets, bookmarks, cookie cutters, our Post-it notes. New for this year and coming soon will be what we are calling family coupon books, warm fuzzy encouragement books, and dry erase family checklist boards. And we will get you more detail about that as we walk through this webinar today. So a big piece of April and a big piece of this webinar is to give you guys ideas of ways to be involved in Child Abuse Prevention Month. So I've put together a collection of photos from partners throughout the years. And some of the ways that we see folks engaged are family fun events and activities. And you'll see some of those photos here. Resource fairs. So they bring together community members, partners, agencies who are serving families to help educate those families on what's available to help support them in their community. Baby showers, we see a lot of the local health departments do baby showers during this time to kind of focus on how to prepare for a baby, some parenting tips, some things to think about. They'll do a whole like gifting ideas and contest for new and expecting parents. Several of our folks are involved in art contests, so it could be from coloring the pinwheel sheet to doing posters or specific art displays. Obviously, pinwheel plantings, that's a big piece of Child Abuse Prevention Month. So we see pinwheel plantings all around the state. Some folks may not have a place for pinwheels to be planted in the ground, and so they might do displays. So a display in a room at your business or organization. We've seen a few folks use the potted plants, the planters, not the plant itself, and put pinwheels in there or vases, but doing special displays or even specific presentations on how to prevent child abuse and neglect. We have folks who do trainings or host trainings, proclamation ceremonies with your judge executive, with your mayor, just several opportunities for that involving your community members. Again, Wear Blue Day on April 3rd. We have folks who are very active with their faith community. So they may use the National Blue Sunday, which is the 26th, the last Sunday of April, as a day to set aside for child abuse prevention. We'll talk again more details on that here in a bit. But we've also had some faith communities who have planted pinwheels, who have done displays at their church, who have put out resources and materials all around parenting tips to prevention materials. We have folks who are very active and involved with their local media and ensuring that their media is aware of April being Child Abuse Prevention Month. And we have some tips and ways to engage the media, which we will discuss here in a little bit. But also we'll be doing a media kit for you all to have as a resource. And then we have some folks who do educational seminars, and then a few folks who do just mailings, and they mail out information around child abuse prevention and Child Abuse Prevention Month and parenting tips and such, either via newsletters or hard copy mailings to their community members and those they serve. So those are just a few ideas, and here are one moment, some more pictures. These pictures are actually focused more on libraries and how they've been involved. We did a special webinar for our Kentucky State Libraries a couple of months ago. So here's some libraries and folks who put together some displays. We had one community in Robertson County that did a whole Go Blue Day, and it started with the library, but they involved the Head Start, local daycares, the school system, even went to giving out blue cookies and blue cupcakes on that date. So there are just a lot of ways to be involved in April, and we want you to just use your imagination and do as little as you can, but as much as you can in bringing awareness to the prevention of child abuse and neglect. And so again, the pinwheels for prevention are the national symbol for child abuse prevention, and that's the blue and silver pinwheel. It's important that we note that it's the blue and silver pinwheel. That is the national symbol. We see often that folks use different color pinwheels, and again, that's fine, but it's not really pointing towards that national campaign of preventing child abuse and neglect. But the thing about pinwheels is that they start a conversation. If you're around folks who have displayed pinwheels or given out pinwheels, folks really enjoy, just even adults playing with them. Kids enjoy them, so they start a conversation. The goal is to point people to action, and we'll talk about some of that messaging and how we get people there towards action. A second piece is that the next piece is that they demonstrate a commitment to ending child maltreatment, and then they help educate and bring awareness to child abuse and neglect and to its prevention. And again, it's not just by giving out that pinwheel. There needs to be more to that. Signage is important. The conversations that you have are important. The way that you provide other messages is important. So we'll talk about that. But a big thing that I wanted to note on this year's webinar is that our national office is really holding to the national trademark and registration that they have for the blue and silver pinwheel. They ask that we do not associate pinwheels with victims or substantiation numbers. So please, when you are planting pinwheels, when you are displaying pinwheels, do not associate those with victims or substantiations of abuse. And the pinwheels are to be equated with general statements of support for great childhood or healthy development. We tend to use them with live births. In your county, you can get that information from your local health department or from others. Also, you can utilize numbers of children and families that you serve, or any positive imagery that you can think of. Give people a point of action. And we'll give you some examples here in the coming slides for this webinar. But again, the Pinwheels for Prevention national campaign does not want to reinforce negative imagery. And with that, this year, if there is misuse of the mark of the pinwheel, organizations will be notified of trademark infringement. So the Pinwheels for Prevention campaign is a registered piece under Prevent Child Abuse America, and therefore, when you're using the elements, not specifically the pinwheel itself, but anything that's messaging that goes with the pinwheel, or imagery, marketing information that goes with the pinwheel, please ask permission to utilize that. If you need our logo, we can provide that to you so that it's accompanied with the proper attribution to PCA America as well as PCA Kentucky. If there is negative imagery or negative messaging, associated with the pinwheel, the national office is really paying attention to that this year, and so they will contact us and ask us to contact you. So it'd be great if we just all kind of try to focus on pointing people towards solutions of preventing child abuse and neglect and utilizing positive imagery as we move forward. And so in that, we want to think about reframed and positive messaging. So what we say and how we say it matters. It impacts how people respond. So understanding how individuals receive and perceive information also is very important. And we at Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky have undergone about a year-long deep dive into research and brought in some experts around communication and science of the psychology behind how we speak about hard things, and specifically child sexual abuse. But we can utilize this information that we've learned towards all areas of child abuse and neglect prevention. And so, again, we want to understand how individuals receive and perceive information, understand the current public discourse and how that impacts communities and individuals' understanding of messages, and then further learn about the research and note how the public responds. And so it's important that we consider how we talk about child abuse and its prevention. And as a result of that, we created a toolkit and a webinar that you can download on our website. We can also send you hard copies of this resource. And it focuses on the positive messages that point communities to solutions of preventing child abuse and neglect. And so, again, there's a webinar that focuses on this and all the research, the expert that we brought in, Dr. Lynn Davey, as well as some examples of positive reframing. But here I've noted some examples of positive messaging that you can utilize with the pinwheels. So, for example, the Pinwheels for Prevention campaign encourages everyone to take simple, ordinary actions to make differences in the lives of children. What action will you take? Contact us to learn more. So that contact us may be your organization specifically. Or how will you invest in keeping kids safe? Child abuse is preventable. It starts with you. So there are a number of ways that we can message during Child Abuse Prevention Month that points people towards action and doesn't overwhelm them with statistics or with the negative imagery that tends to get people to stop and not want to move forward because they feel overwhelmed and that there's nothing they can do to prevent abuse and neglect. A second piece of messaging is social media. This is an ever-changing platform, but it is a great way to get information to the public. It brings visibility not only to your agency, but to the cause of preventing child abuse and neglect throughout the month of April. So we want to just encourage you to utilize social media to market your events, build community support, provide parenting tips, advocate for strengthening families, share your program information, and more all throughout April. We will be providing later next month or by March a sample social media kit with tips and images and information that you can utilize to post throughout the month of April. We also like to use hashtags as a part of the April campaign. Hashtags allow us to group and categorize different pieces of information on social media. So for 2020, we will be using CAPM 2020. So CAPM stands for Child Abuse Prevention Month. So CAPM 2020 for Wear Blue Day. Any day that you decide to participate in Wear Blue Day, we will use the Wear Blue for KY Kids. And then for the pinwheels, we will utilize pinwheels for prevention. So again, those are the hashtags that we will you will see us as Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky use throughout the month. And so in that, we hope that you will keep up with us during the month of April, but not only April, maybe all the time. And feel free to use our stuff and repost and share. And then if your agency, so we'll watch your all's agencies post and as you're grouping things using those hashtags and such, or if you want to tag us, we will be sharing and maybe even creating a photo album, on Facebook for pictures of events and such. That's what we've done in the past. And so if your agency doesn't have or utilize social media, you can send photos of your activities and of your events and any information that you want to share regarding your plans for April Child Abuse Prevention Month directly to the email pcaky@pcaky.org. And as we can continue talking through communications, media engagement is so important to implementing a successful campaign. And so we want to see you guys engage with your local television, your radio, your print media to reach large audiences towards the cause of prevention. So in May, we will have a press packet available for both Kentucky Broadcasters Association and the Kentucky Press Association. And we've been working with them for about 3-4 years now. And so once that is available, if you would like to receive a copy, so again, that's going to be I put May, it's actually March because March comes before April. It'll be in March. And so in March, if you will email us at pcaky@pcaky.org, we will get you a copy of the press packets and information that you can also utilize in engaging your local media folks. But some quick tips as we think about engaging the media. First off, you want to stay on message. So you have something to say, you have information that you want the audience and your community to receive. You want to make sure that the reporter or the interviewer doesn't get you off track. And you focus and you share what you want shared. Use stories from those who have benefited from your program. Folks are really going to respond to and relate to people and stories that have to do with how prevention has worked. So share stories, programs, and impact statements that show that prevention works. And then always relate your message back to prevention and specific solutions that work in your community. We also wanted to share with you guys that if you are hosting an event, a training, a conference during March, April, or really any time throughout the year, PCAK welcomes the opportunity to be part of your efforts, and so we'd like you to consider us. We have staff, we have board members who are subject matter experts on many topics, specifically around child abuse and neglect prevention, and so we would love to assist you. And if you want us there just to either do a simple introduction about Child Abuse Prevention Month or Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky, and you just want us to visit, but you don't really need us to speak specifically on something, we can also be there. So just email us at, again, pcaky@pcaky.org if you are interested in having PCAK staff, board members, to either speak or attend your event. And so some scheduled events for April. We will be hosting a statewide kickoff, pinwheel planting at the Capitol lawn in March. It's not quite scheduled yet, but it's tentatively that last date of March, but on the 30th, but it may be that week before. So once that is scheduled, we will get that out to you. There may be a separate gubernatorial proclamation, or it may be part of the pinwheel planting at the Capitol. But again, we will get those dates to you as soon as they are confirmed. Again, National Wear Blue Day for Child Abuse Prevention is on April 3rd. We will have free lapel stickers that we would love for you to order and utilize on that date. Take selfies and group photos, post them on social media utilizing the hashtag WearBlue4KYKids. And then faith-based engagement and Blue Sabbath or Blue Sunday, whichever you want to call it, is that April 25th, 26th date. As some faith groups do not recognize Sunday as their Sabbath. And so April 25th and April 26th are those dates. We have some resources for faith communities, but also bluesunday.org is a great resource for getting faith groups involved in child abuse prevention. And then we also want to advertise your event and let folks know what's going on. Plus, we also track everything across the state. So if you have an event that you would like posted on the calendar, if you will send that to us via PCAKY, that way we can get your details on the calendar. And with that, please provide us the name of the event, who's invited, who's hosting, the date, the time, and who to follow up with if we need information. Another event, sort of an event, that we at Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky do throughout the month of April is point of sale pinwheels. The last several years, we've had groups and businesses who have sold $1 paper pinwheels at the point of sale. So the businesses have sold them as they've sold other things. But then other groups have just sold them for $1 to $5, and proceeds going to our mission of preventing child abuse and neglect. So if you're interested in point of sale pinwheels, please contact Brandy Britton, and her email address is here on the screen, bbritton@pcaky.org. And here are specific resources. Again, these are our brochures that are currently available. Many of these actually have been revised and redesigned. So if you visit our website, you'll actually see the current ones. So you'll see them there. Resources, again, lapel pens, pinwheels, tattoos, bookmarks, yard signs, lapel stickers, cookie cutters, and Post-its. These are the list of downloads. So we will have updated Child Protective Services and DCBS related reports and statistics posted on the website here in the coming month or so. So it'll be for calendar year 2019. And so that is coming soon. And then again, you can download any of our brochure and tip sheet resources for free and utilize them. But new this year, we're super excited about this. We have what we're calling Child Abuse Prevention Month kits. And so rather than having to order everything separately, as people have had to do in the past, you've had to order 240 pinwheels and then some yard signs and then lapel pins and bookmarks and cookie cutters. We thought that creating these kits would help folks to implement the campaigns in their community. So specifically, we did the home kits because we've had several folks contact us and say they wanted just a few pinwheels for their house or for their family, for their neighborhood. And so that's what the home kits are for. It's for that individual or that family who wants to implement a Pinwheels for Prevention campaign during April Child Abuse Prevention Month. So it will include 10 pinwheels and chopsticks. The chopsticks are what help hold the pinwheel in the ground. Yard sign, lapel pins, the bookmarks that we have that have the flower seeds, so a parent child friendly activity, some Wear Blue Day stickers, some flyers and reproducible information that you can distribute to others in your community, as well as a couple of the cookie cutters. The community kits are more in line with those folks who are organizations, small businesses, groups that want to get their just local community businesses and groups involved in Child Abuse Prevention Month. And so it's going to have 240 pinwheels, some chopsticks, 4 yard signs to put out throughout your community. It'll include lapel pins, bookmarks, cookie cutters, Wear Blue Day stickers, some brochures, and reproducible flyers that you can utilize. So again, we are hoping that these kits will be useful and be found helpful to folks who are implementing their campaigns. But again, you can order everything individually via our website. And then coming soon, we will have available the Community Outreach Guide. This includes tip sheets for planning, ideas, resources, and more. Several years ago, we used to mail these out. Then we started emailing this out. Currently, it's going to be on our website listed as tip sheets. But if you need the whole guide as one, you can email us and get that. So the whole guide in one kit or one document. We will soon have a dry erase daily family checklist boards available, memo boards. Many of our partners have already seen these. And they've already been available to partners, but we will launch those for the public here in the coming months. And then again, the Warm Fuzzy books. This is like a coupon book, and you can pull out different pieces of information, and it says like, I am grateful for that positive choice that you took today, or I'm so thankful for the smile on your face. And I honestly maybe making up those messages right now, but the point is that it's to help encourage family and parent-child communication, and little positive notes that they can leave around for their child. And then the family engagement coupon book, it has little coupons in it. So this is a coupon for your favorite meal, but it must be redeemed in 24 hours so that mom and dad can make sure they have the ingredients to host that meal for you. Or this allows you 1 hour to pick a game of your choice, and the family sits down and plays the game. So it's little activities like that in that coupon book, and we're excited. They're a lot of fun and interesting. And then again, we have many updated and revised PCAK brochures and tip sheets that will be coming available here in the months. So right now, if you have any questions or anything that you want to share, there is a chat box on your GoToMeeting webinar piece. It looks like a little bubble. You can type in there. So I'm going to type in. You can type in questions there, and I can respond to them now. If you don't have any questions right now, then we will go ahead and close down the webinar. And as you think of ideas that you want to discuss or need assistance for implementation of April activities and events, you can email us at pcaky@pcaky.org, or you can call our main line, and it's 859-225-8879, and we as staff would love to have that conversation with you and talk through how you can be involved in April Child Abuse Prevention Month. So I'll give us a moment to see if anybody has anything they want to type. in the chat box. I don't see anything. Okay, so we are going to be done. I thank you all for being involved and joining us today for our webinar. I hope that it's found helpful, and as new resources are available, we will be sure to follow up via email with all partners and all participants in this webinar with those details on how to order and such. So thank you so much for being here.